This is the first time I've spoken up since my heart attack. It's still hard to say those words, but hey, I do know that being here means I'm one of the lucky ones. You know, when you go through something health-related, you end up going down rabbit holes online. You research nonstop. You want to know everything you can. At one point, if you were a heart patient, you would be classified as either mild, serious but not hopeless, or hopeless. And that's how I know times have changed. Before the founding of the American Heart Association, I would have been in that last category, hopeless. Hopeless. The more I know, the more I wonder about my family's health history. Like maybe, just maybe, I wasn't the first in my family to have a heart attack. Because in times past, doctors didn't fully understand a heart attack, much less know how to identify one. If it were the 1920s, I'd be in a sanitarium, but thankfully, I'm back to work and relatively healthy. My brother suffered cardiac arrest. Thankfully, he survived because his wife knew CPR. How many people died before that discovery? And I am grateful for all the people at the heart of progress. And I can't help but to wonder, what's next for patients like me?
It's the 1920s, when the American Heart Association said it's not too late. Bold transformations for patients like you are on the way. Yes, it's 1925, the year that scientific sessions began. We funded research that led to another amazing invention. For the first time, a human heart was shot back to its natural rhythm. Just before the 60s wrapped up and had to go, thankfully we would deal another major blow. Legislation banned cigarette ads on both the TV and radio. The AHA's advocacy led to a federal ban that was signed by the president's own hand,
which forced cigarette companies to put more warnings on every pack.
We were vocal, making statements on harmful effects of environmental tobacco, and physical inactivity was highlighted as a major risk for folks. Heart walks are held nationwide. There was so much going on, in fact. This is also the period of introduction for the Healthy Meals for Americans Act. And then something else happened that was very important too. We learned there's another equally effective way for you. More than 1.5 million high school students graduate each year with CPR skills, creating a nation of lifesavers that will stop cardiac arrest before it kills. No singular organization does it alone. It was a worldwide collaboration. Thanks to researchers, physicians, scientists, healthcare, and other frontline workers, the entire world joined hands. Now health equity has a more precise lens, and social determinants of health more people truly understand. Ultimately, we didn't let the pandemic ruin our current and future plans. Bold, relentless, measured, daring, brave, and in your face. To save lives, we're careful but moving at an urgent pace. Collaborating on one brave idea, food is medicine, and cardiorenal metabolic research, just to give you a taste. Cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women, killing one woman about every 80 seconds. With that kind of stat, best believe we've got her back. People living in rural America have a 40% higher risk of heart disease and a 30% higher risk of stroke. Just know that we can't let that float. One last thought on all the things we pursue. You are the reason for everything that we do. Since the American Heart Association's founding in 1924, cardiovascular deaths have been cut in half, and yet there are still so many lives to be saved. Bold advances are on the way. Can you imagine inexpensive hypertension medicines that only have to be taken once per month? Or the use of AI to help lessen bias in medicine? We'll one day have the option of growing vital parts of our body from our own cells to replace organs and parts of the body that we've lost. Or how about genetic treatment of many inherited cardiovascular diseases? In the next century, we'll be able to identify, at birth or young age, the significant risks of cardiovascular disease based upon your genetic profile and epigenetic profile. 3D printing of the human aorta and heart valves for surgical replacements. This will be a reality. Imagine someone with brain damage regaining function. Well, neuroregeneration can and will make it possible. And you won't have to imagine for long. A brighter future is on the way for all. We're making healthcare smarter and more accessible because our future is about improving yours.